bitch in the back with the Burberry on. Yeah. I for that bitch in the back with the Burberry on. Yeah. And to this day, that little bitch know all my songs. My chopper like kid and play, put a bullet hole in your afro. Walk in the bank, I'm laughing, no. These niggas square like Madison, no. I ball out like Madison, no.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. It is officially UFC Fight Night. Yair Rodriguez going up against the Korean Zombie. And man, I am excited to see both these guys back in action. And it's going down in just about under an hour. The first card starts in under an hour. So let me give you a quick preview. You're probably like, why is Evil Eddie going live an hour before these fights? Well, I got some great news for everybody. If you have been a follower of Pure Evil MMA for the past couple of years, and I thank you for the people out there who have been with me that long, you may realize recently I have not been going live directly after the events, which I used to do. Directly after the main event, I would go live, give you my initial pure reaction of what was just witnessed. And there's been some really good ones before in the past. One of my favorites, personally, where I was able to get like a really good reaction, Stipe when he knocked out Verdum in Brazil. That was... I couldn't. I was speechless. I started the show literally shocked. Another really good one was Cody No Love versus Thomas Almeida on Cody No Love's rise for the championship belt, knocking out somebody like that, Thomas Almeida, which at the time no one really was able to figure out. And then bam, crack, boom. That was a really good reaction video. So we are bringing that back tonight. It's going down tonight. And on today's show, another thing that you guys might realize has been missing lately is my prediction shows, which were a huge hit as well. So I figured, everyone's waiting around right now. The fights are going to be going on. For the people out there who don't even have Fight Pass, it's kind of a bummer. Fights start at 6, but you're probably not even going to be able to tune in until 8. So it's like, what do you do with this time? Well, the MMA hosts, they do live streams during the event, and that's been huge for their channel to grow. So I thought it would be a really good idea, if I want my YouTube channel to grow, bring back what the people want, which is reactions and prediction shows. But this week, it's a little different because, obviously, it's about to be fight night in less than an hour. So on today's podcast, it's not even a podcast, more of a video cast, because it would be pointless to upload this onto iTunes directly after, because at that point you're going to listen to it and the fight's going to be halfway through. There's not going to be much interest there. But today we're going to be making predictions. I'm going to be previewing what you're going to witness tonight and some of the potential matchups that could be fight of the night, which there's quite a few. This is a really good card. It's UFC's 25th anniversary. I love using my hands if you can't tell by now. But 25-year anniversary, there are people out there being like, this should be a bigger card. There should be more important fighters. Are you kidding me? Aren't you the same people that are complaining that you don't have money to buy pay-per-views? Take what they're giving us here. 25-year anniversary. Great lineup. Yair Rodriguez versus Korean Zombie. Mike Perry versus Cowboy Cerrone. Jermaine Durandamy is back. There are so many. We're going to be going through that in a second. Before we do that, let me check the live stream and let you guys know to subscribe down below here on YouTube. And you can catch the podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, as you see here. iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify. We're also on Player FM. We're on sites I never even heard of, which is pretty badass if you ask me. Let me make sure the sound is right, because there have been some issues not too long ago. Alright, perfect. Hey, we got Mike. Alright, so let me pull in the chat room here so everybody can see on air what you are saying inside. Here we go. Inside the chat room here on the channel. Let me just pull this up really quick. Mike H saying, hi Eddie, you think Cowboys going to win tonight? Mike says yes. So here's the thing, Mike. We're going to get into that in a second, but right off the bat, I know that you and Ann are huge fans of Cowboy Cerrone. I think that, yeah, he's definitely going to win this fight. Not definitely, but I think he has more of a good chance to win this fight. Really quick, while this is uploading onto here. And we're going to be previewing that in just a second. Let me just pull you guys into the stream here. And then add my ugly mug in. This is one of the things about live streaming. It's like, you got to kind of piece it together. Video capture device. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. There I am. Transform, stretch screen, bam, boom, badoozle. There we go. Now you guys can see the live stream, but you can't see my Twitter. Whatever. Fuck it. All right, let's jump into today's show because this is a great card. Bam. Boom. Gadoom. Shazoom. And we're going to be going to Tapology. Now, I want to thank everybody that's been a part of Pure Evil MMA. It's been a really hard past couple of months for all of us. Listen, when UFC Pick'em died, I'm about to cry. When UFC Pick'em died, it was a huge loss for a lot of people. It was like the excitement was gone because that was the one thing that tied a lot of people together. Even if you didn't watch the fights that night, it was so much fun to just make your predictions, talk with people on Twitter, just be in a group and feel like you're a part of something. And it made no sense. I even did a video on it where I was just telling everybody how much the UFC Pick'em meant to so many people out there. And since the loss of UFC Pick'em, we've lost some great people like Iceman. I mean, that was one thing. He was one of the top prediction people in the entire country on UFC Pick'em. And then it's not even like we were given any real good reason. So Tapology is taking on the role because when that died, it was like, what now? Tapology, thank God for Tapology. They are playing the role where they actually opened up a UFC Pick'em group room. So I'm going to be making my predictions now. I waited till last minute so I could do this stream. So let's jump right into it. In the first fight, guys, we got Yair Rodriguez, who has been away from the game for quite some time. I mean, that fight that he had against Frankie Edgar, that was the last time he was in there. I thought it was about 2 years ago. It was about a year and a half ago. Now, this was a guy who was making a huge name for himself, winning as soon as he got in the UFC. Daniel Hooker beats Andre Philly, Touchy Philly. And that was a devastating fight. I didn't want to watch Philly lose. Bruce Leroy, which was a whole bunch of spinning shit that entire fight. And then the BJ Penn fight. So let's rewind here. Yair Rodriguez, the career of Yair Rodriguez. They give him Bruce Leroy. It's like, all right, this is going to be an action fight. People are going to be tuning in because it's going to be a stand-up battle. Let's face it, even if you know what's going on the ground, even if you are diehard into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever it is, we all love the stand-up fights. And we all love what we call the new era of this, new techniques, new spins. But this was just over the top, ridiculous. But it did what it was supposed to do. People were so pumped for Yair Rodriguez. What's next for Yair after that fight? Who do they give him? BJ Penn. Now, BJ Penn, as far as I remember, was supposed to fight Dennis Seaver before that, which he ended up doing after. But he was supposed to fight Dennis Seaver, and that fight made a lot of sense. Nope, they give him they give him Yair Rodriguez. Now, Yair Rodriguez, BJ Penn, we're talking right now how it's been a year and 6 months for Yair, and that's been a long time. BJ Penn was making his return after years gone against a young, hungry guy. And it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. Probably not the smartest idea. Like, what was the point? Like, you're going to fight this young up-and-comer and you're going to prove, I still have what it takes. And it just did not work out that way for BJ Penn, unfortunately. It made a lot of people just kind of die a little bit inside if you were a BJ Penn fan. Just like, this is enough. And I've even recommended before in the past, like, wouldn't you guys rather see BJ Penn in, like, a submission underground or something like that? Because that's what I would like to see him in. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100 here. That would make a lot more sense to me. Shout out to Shorty Torres and the entire flyweight division that was cut this week as well. It's only right to give them a shout out. And I actually spoke with Jose Shorty Torres. I spoke with Jared Brooks and Mitch Raposo, who are all fired up and had some different views, but very, very upsetting podcast to go on. But Shorty Torres, the way he left it off, man, was just so brilliant. I mean, it's like he got a taste of the UFC. He realizes it was a lot different than what he expected. It's probably going to do a lot better in a different organization that's going to respect him. So, guys, go check that podcast out down below. But let's jump back into this. I had to bring that up really quick. So, Yair Rodriguez, after he beats BJ Penn, they're like, oh, okay, this is going to make sense. Let's match him up against Frankie Edgar. Bro, what do you mean? You want to match him up against the number one contender at the time, which was Frankie Edgar. And I'm just tuning into the chat room. The only thing the UFC cares about is money, Mike H says. Which, yeah, 100%. It's literally all they're caring about. It's more of the entertainment business. Let me pull the chat room into Tapology for everybody as well, just so you guys can see. All right, so they matched him up against Frankie Edgar. Now, this fight did not go as planned if you were rooting for Yair Rodriguez. And as soon as they matched up, I was like, this is not a good idea. Like, okay, they did this to numerous guys before in the past. I mean, the list goes on and on of young potential up-and-comers. They match them up a little bit too early to somebody, and then they just crawl and crumble, and it's devastating to somebody. Yair Rodriguez, since that moment, it was so embarrassing for him. He was gone for a year and 5 months. Now, obviously it hurt, but maybe he realized I need to go back to the drawing board and fix A, B, and C. Tonight, we might see our new and improved Yair Rodriguez. Now, I'm somebody that really doesn't believe in ring rust. The Korean Zombie being my main example for this one. This guy was away for 2 years. Check this out. There was a gap. Look at this. Dustin Poirier wins by submission 6 years, 5 months ago. Jose Aldo was his last loss 5 years, 3 months ago. Then 1 year, 9 months ago was his last fight against Dennis Bermudez. And Dennis Bermudez was hot as an iron at this point. UFC had him doing a lot of media, going out to like football games and promoting the UFC and his upcoming fight. Korean Zombie goes in there, and it was just a smoke show knockout for the Korean Zombie. He was away for 2 years. 2 years away. He had to do active service. Mike H. second, is Wonderboy going to sign up again with UFC? I would believe so. I think, here's my initial reaction, guys, for, if you guys want to know how I feel about other organizations, yeah, it's been a great year for Bellator, for one championships, as I call it, one FC, which I was getting shit for by a media member, who she was so mean about it. Somebody that I've been following for a long time, even had the notification thing, like anytime she would tweet, I would know directly. And I simply asked, I was like, do you guys know how to get a hold of 1FC? I used hashtag 1FC. And she went off going, oh, first off, why don't you do a little bit more research before you go out and start asking questions about something you don't know anything about? Bitch. I've been doing media since I was 7 years old, way longer than you. You might have the verification check, but to me, it doesn't mean anything. I say it all the time, I'm not a cookie-cutter journalist. But if I use hashtag 1FC, people know what the hell I'm talking about here. Other people who have used it, Henzo Grixie has used hashtag 1FC. But bitch, you can brag on me, bitch gets blocked. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That pissed me off so much. Don't be rude to me like that. Don't. Just don't. Not a good idea. Jumping back into it, guys. This is a really interesting fight. Who do you choose here? The odds. Let's see what the odds. So it's a pretty near even odds. Negative 105 near even for Yair. Negative 115 near even for the Korean Zombie. Now, how is this fight going to play out? Let's see what everyone's thinking on Tapology. Where are you guys ranking in? Okay, so 67% of people think the Korean Zombie is going to win against 33% of Yair Rodriguez. Now, oh man. So Yair's only 26. Korean Zombie 31. Pretty close. 4 inches taller is Yair Rodriguez. 1 inch reach advantage to Korean Zombie. And take all that what you will. I really don't believe in MMA math all that much. Something inside of me, like, who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for the Korean Zombie. I think this is going to be a very competitive fight. I don't think Yair Rodriguez should go in there like he went in there against Bruce Leroy and just try to put on an entertaining fight. Right now, in this position, if you're Yair Rodriguez, don't worry about the fans or the entertainment aspect. Worry about getting a W and getting back on track. You've been away from the game for a year and a half. 18 months you've been away almost. 17 months to be exact. Right? 6, 12, 18. Yeah. Don't go in there and blow it. Because 2 losses in the UFC is a huge step back. Huge step back. You could be, it just shows you how crazy this sport is. You could be at the top of your game at one point, one of the biggest up-and-comers the UFC has to offer. One fight later, your entire life changes and you go into hiding. We've seen this happen to a lot of people, and a lot of people deal with losses differently. There's no right or wrong way to deal with it personally, but Yair Rodriguez taking this much time off, like, is it going to be Like, for instance, Korean Zombie had to leave for 2 years. He had to go do service. Yair, and like I said, I don't believe in ring rust, but that's a long time to be away if you're up and coming, man. I mean, there was a lot of great matchups in there, and they're not making this really easy for Yair to come back, because I almost forgot. Yair got fired from the UFC, remember? Yair Rodriguez, they wanted to match him up against Zabit. I completely forgot about this. They tried matching Yair up against Zabit. Magashapirabov. I can't pronounce the guy's last name. That was going to be an exciting fight. Another guy who has a similar style with him puts on entertaining fights. Yair was like, no, this isn't happening. I don't want any part of this. Not what was on my agenda, or definitely not on my bucket list. The UFC wasn't having that. They were like, oh, you're calling the shots now? No. That's not how this goes. Especially right now, when we just sold the company for $4 billion, it's under new management, we are turning into more of the WWE of MMA. That's what the UFC promotion is really turning into. Can we just keep it 100? That's what a lot of people are saying. So, for him to turn that down, the UFC just wasn't having it. They let him go. Then I forgot exactly what happened. Somehow he got brought back. Like, he was like, all right, fine, I will take the fight. And then, of all people, he gets injured. How convenient is that? He gets injured. He's back on the roster. It worked out very weird. And now they're giving him the Korean Zombie, which isn't much of a favor at all. So let's jump to it. I'm taking the Korean Zombie. I don't know if he can knock Yair out, but that's what I would like to see. This probably will. It's a 5-round fight. Damn. Oh, man. This is tough. Are they going to go 5 rounds? I could see that. I could see them going 5 rounds. They're at featherweight, 145 pounds. I see this going to decision. Man, I don't even know what to expect. This is such a long one because they've been out for so long. I'm going with the Korean Zombie to win by decision. 67% now are agreeing with me. And not many of you guys think it's going to be going to decision either. Only 22% of the 100% of people that voted for Korean Zombie think it's going to end in decision. But I'm just trying to be realistic here. I would like to see him win by KO. Should I switch it? I'd get a lot of points. No, I'm going to keep it a decision. Keeping that shit a decision. All right, so let's move down because there's a lot of really entertaining fights on here. Let me know what you guys are picking for that fight as well right now in the chat room, and also on Twitter at evil_echo and on Instagram at pureevil_MMA_. Am I even in frame? Can I check this really quick? Am I even in frame for you guys? Absolutely crazy. This is an absolutely crazy card that's really gone under the radar. So Mike checking in. What are they trying to make us happy? Then more people show up at the fights. Is Wonder Boy going to sign up again with the UFC? I don't understand that. Technology makes my head hurt. Which I answered the questions there. All right, so let's jump back into Tapology. Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Mike Perry, which could have easily been the main event. I personally would have enjoyed this to be the main event. Mike Perry is on a roll, even though, look at his record. He's kind of hot and cold right now. When he came into the UFC, there was one fight I really wanted to see when he started getting the ball rolling. It was him versus Darren Till. That fight made so much sense to me. It never happened. They matched him up against Cowboy Cerrone, which for me kind of does the same thing. Like I'm just as happy with this fight right now. But Mike Perry coming off a win over Paul Felder via split decision, surprisingly. I did not expect Paul Felder to lose that fight. And then Cowboy Cerrone also coming off a loss to Leon Edwards via decision. Now, in Cowboy's entire career, he's never consecutively lost fights until, earlier this year, late last year. He's never lost 2 in a row. Look at this. There was a stretch where he had like 3-4 fight loss. Jorge Masvidal, Robbie Lawler, Darren Till. And I will say all of those are big names, especially Darren Till making his name off of Cowboy Cerrone, which really gave him the platform to be like, hey, I'm here. I'm definitely top 5 worthy. But Cowboy Cerrone, man, every time he comes in, it's what Cowboy is going to show up. Where's Cowboy's head at here? Mike Perry, man, there was a long time when he was just relying on that one punch. And when he went in there against our boy Alan Jouban, He realized that he needed to evolve more. He can't just rely on that this stage in the UFC. He needs to be more of a technical fighter. Now, going to Donald Cowboy Cerrone is a huge step up in competition. This is another, like, like for Artem, for instance. Everybody loves Artem. We've been wanting to see him get a knockout. He hasn't had a knockout yet in the UFC. But they keep matching him up with these hard, like these really out of their league competitors. Like Michael Johnson. Why is Artem versus Michael Johnson even a thing? That makes no sense. It's here and here. It just didn't make. Well, Michael Johnson was on a couple fight losing streaks, so it still didn't even make sense to me. For Mike Perry, I don't know if this is a smart fight. It's definitely an entertaining fight. Like I said, could be a headline fight, but I think it's too soon for him. Now, let's see what you guys are saying, because you guys might completely disagree with me. 59% of you guys are going with Mike Perry to win, and a good majority of that via knockout. 86%, wow, 86% going for knockout. 41% are going with Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Oh man, this is another really hard, but this is another pick'em. Like, this could go either way. I would really like to see Cowboy. Like, look, out of Cowboy's last 5 fights, he's only won 1. That just blows my mind. Cowboy needs this win to get back on the map. No matter what, Cowboy's still going to have a huge following. People will always love Cowboy Cerrone. But when a fighter that's been around for as long as Cowboy's been around goes on a losing streak like this, it's very hard to watch. So once again, in my heart, I want Cowboy to win. If you're the UFC, you'd want somebody like Mike Perry to win. All in all, if you're an MMA fan, this is a badass fight. Can Mike Perry knock out Cowboy Cerrone? 3 rounds. I could go to a decision. Man, this is a tough one. I could see this going to a decision. Like I said, what Cowboy Cerrone is showing up here. Now, Mike Perry, I might give him more of an edge here, because if you follow his interviews, follow up with his day-to-day messages and tweets and snaps or whatever, what have you, you'll realize that his mindset and what he's been doing for himself for the first time in his life, like cutting out sugars out of his diet and just like really being committed to the fight game. Like, I'm here, I need to cut this and that out to actually give people and myself, most importantly, my all. It's all or nothing at this point. A win over Donald Cowboy Cerrone would be huge for Mike Perry to finally be taken a little bit more seriously. Definitely in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes. If he gets the loss, it's gonna really be not too much of a step back, but a step back. In this world, that would make it, in his last 5 fights, him 2-3, 2 wins, 3 losses. Right now, he's 3 wins, 2 losses in the last 5 fights, with a 12-3 record. Welterweight's a very exciting division right now. Cowboy is 33-11, so even just the experience there. I mean, Mike Perry coming out of Florida, he's kind of this new era of mixed martial arts. This would be a huge win for him, but I am going to pick against him. I'm going to take Cowboy in decision. Now, Mike Perry's best chance, and if you follow MMA or diehard, I'm not going to give you any new information here. But for the people out there that aren't aware who Mike Perry is or Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Mike Perry will most likely have his best shot in the first round. Early on in the first round, kind of shock Cowboy. Now, Cowboys kind of expect that, right? Like, that's what everyone's saying. Like, oh, this is the blueprint to beat Cowboy, which is definitely harder than it sounds, guys. Like, people are there, there's a blueprint to beating him. Are you fucking out of your mind? Yeah, you could do A, B, and C, but is that going to work out for you? Like, this is Cowboy Cerrone. Not just anyone's going to be like, oh, I can beat up Cowboy Cerrone as long as I rush it. You're out of your mind. No, beware. Beware. I would love to see Cowboy get another Rick Story performance, man. That would be huge for him. It's always nice. Like, remember when Showtime Pettis got back on track with the win on the DC vs. Stipe card? That's the same feeling I would get if Cowboy knocks out Mike Perry. I do think Mike Perry definitely has a good chance. I think it's 60-40. That's how I personally feel. 60 for Cowboy, 40 for Mike Perry. You can flip swap that if you want. Maybe I'm just being a little too much with my heart. Let me go with my gut here. Let me actually feel this out. Like, let me get this feeling here. Like, 3 rounds, Mike Perry, Cowboy Cerrone. I still see Cowboy being the more technical fighter, being more active. Like, I'm going with Cowboy to be a decision. So, in the main and co-main, I have 2 decisions here, which could easily be knockout fights. But let's move on. Raquel Pennington. We got 27 minutes before the first fight, so I gotta bang this out. We got Rocky going up against Germaine de Randamie. Now, I interviewed Germaine de Randamie before her fight with Holly Holm. Wonderful personality. Her entire career has been tarnished, unfortunately, and she has been missing ever since the fight with Holly Holm, obviously. And for reasons being the late shots in the fight, which I blame the referee. You can't leave it on the bell when these fighters are in the heat of the moment for a title, for the inaugural title. Germaine de Randamie in our interview, when I was inside submission, she was like, listen, I've never even seen the title, let alone hold the title. Imagine that, and having it strapped around your waist after beating Holly Holm, who is most well known for beating Ronda Rousey. Like, you got to get in the middle of those girls because she wants it. She's hungry. But to the world, it just looks so dirty because she did it to the preacher's daughter. Now, I understand that 100%. It also looked really bad after she won the fight that she was like, because like I said, the UFC is an entertainment era right now. When you win a fight like this, the inaugural title, for a division that was opened up strictly for Chris Cyborg, it's a no-brainer. Baby, it's a no-brainer. That the next fight the UFC wants is you versus Cyborg. It's so clear. It can't be any more obvious. She knew that going into this fight. They give her the microphone. She goes, well, they go, what do you want next? And she goes, well, you know, I got this injury on my hand. I need to take some time off. She didn't say anything about Cyborg. It really seemed like she was shook, which really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths about Germaine de Randamie. She was very upset. She said she was getting death threats. Like, it was bad. She has been gone. How long ago was that? 1 year and 8 months ago. This is the inaugural featherweight champ in the UFC. Going in there against Raquel Pennington, this is a huge fight. And Rocky, who was my 2016 Fighter of the Year with me and Ted, her last loss was 5 months ago to Amanda Nunes. Another fighter that kind of left a bad taste in everyone's mouth because it seemed like she gave up in the fight. I mean, she literally went back to the corner and was like, I can't do this. I don't want to go back out there. And the coaches made her go back out there, and she got finished. And it's amazing to see her back so soon. I love Raquel Pennington. She actually dates Tisha Torres, the tiny tornado, who's in the weight class below, doing her thing. It's a power couple right there. This is going to be a really hard fight for her, though. This is Germaine de Randamie coming over from Holland. She's really close to Jarina Bars. Jarina Bars, this is why I want to see the Cyborg versus Germaine de Randamie fight so much. Her and Jarina Bars actually used to work together as bouncers. But 2 girls were bouncers. Oh, in Holland, 2 badass girls that mess up any of my friends, I'll tell you that much. Raquel Pennington coming off a loss. Germaine de Randamie, you know what kind of competitive spirit she has as well. I'm taking Germaine de Randamie to win. I think she can finish her. Do I think she is going to get the finish after being away for this long? It could definitely happen. Korean Zombie being proof of that. But I do see this going to a decision. That's where I see this going so far. So let me know what you guys think. 72% of you guys are going Germaine de Randamie, who's coming in as a negative 180 slight favorite. Raquel Penning a plus 150 slight underdog. Out of Germaine de Randamie's 10 fights, she's won 7, lost 3. Let's see what the height difference is. Height 3 inches taller is Germaine de Randamie. 5-inch reach advantage for Germaine de Randamie. Raquel Pennington's a little brawler, man. I think Germaine de Randamie's Muay Thai could keep her at a distance. How is she going to do off of her back is the question. Have we seen her off her? Let's see her last 5 fights. Who's she fought? Julie Kedzie. She lost to Amanda Nunes. Larissa Anna Elmos. Holly Holm. Huge one. Biggest one on there is Holly Holm. Man, this is a tough one. I'm going Jermaine Durandamy via decision. We'll see what happens there. Beneath that, we got Beneil Dariush versus Thiago Moises. All right, so this is when we're going to kind of get into our quick picks. Beneil Dariush, can you believe this? His last fight lost Alexander Hernandez via TKO punches. Before that, what is this? A draw. Majority. No. Decision. Majority decision. Jesus. Draw. Okay. Edson Barboza, before that, he loses. Flying knee, which was beautiful, by the way. I believe he kept doing the same thing. If I remember this the right way, round after round, he would like throw a punch and then go for the takedown. Edson Barboza picked up on it, timed it perfectly, and knocked Beneil out cold almost 2 years ago, a year and 7 months ago. Thiago coming in here as a plus 130 slight underdog on a 2-fight win streak. He's coming over from the Contender Series, beating Gleitson Kudus via head kick and punches. Before that, he won via guillotine in LFA against Jeff Peterson. I went to school with a kid named Jeff Peterson. I mean, this would be a huge win for Thiago, but come on, you got to go for Beneil Dariush here. I think Beneil can finish him. Let's see, his last 2 finishes were KOs, or 1 KO, 1 decision. I think I'm going to take Beneil to win round 2. That's my only pick so far for a finish. 80% of you think Dariush is going to win via decision. 20% going with Thiago. All right, moving down. Macy Barber versus Hannah Cifers female fight. Let's see. Both these girls, damn, 5-fight win streak. Rather, the last 5 fights. Moderate underdog for Hannah Cifers at a plus 325. And the undefeated Macy Barber, heavy favorite. Negative 430 now. 90% going with Barber. I don't know much about these girls. Let's see. Coming off the Contender Series is Macy Barber. Other girl, no. Titan FC in her past, which is a great organization. Shorty Torres, double champ over there. Next Level Fight Club. I'm taking Macy Barber here just because I don't know too much about it. I'm looking at it on the paper. The odds are definitely persuading me to be like, is there something about this girl that I don't know much about? Let's see. Is she a finisher? Let's see. Ground and pound. Okay, our last fight, ground and pound. The fight before that, ground and pound. Before that, rear naked choke. Before that, decision. Against Mallory Martin, too. Mind blown, man. This is the girl who beat Mallory Martin. I'm done. That's it. This girl definitely gets my vote. Done with the stream. Going home. That's a night. This is the girl that beat Mallory. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Just for that. Just for that. Just for that. No one beats Mallory. No one beats Mallory. No one. I'm clearly mad. Yeah. I'm rooting against this girl now. I want to see somebody beat her now. She's undefeated. She beat Mallory Martin. I'm fucking pissed now. This isn't funny. I'm fucking pissed. We've had Mallory Martin on in the past. She's a big supporter of Pure Evil MMA. Pure Evil MMA Army Empire. I'm changing it to the Pure Evil MMA Empire. Big fans of Mallory Martin. Big support system. We just had Janae Harding on, teammate of Mallory Martin. She just beat Conor McGregor's teammate, Sinead O'Connor. Sinead Kavanaugh. Sinead O'Connor. She beat up Sinead O'Connor. She beat up Sinead Kavanaugh. I'm picking Hannah. I am picking Hannah. Let's go, Hannah. Let's go. All right, let's look at Hannah's finishes. Ref stoppage from strikes. Okay. Feeling good. Versus Carl Robbins. Okay, who was 5-1. All right. Celine Haga. punches and elbows. Okay, this girl's a finisher too. Against a girl who was 10-14. Before that, Thea Souza decision. Okay, 10 months ago. So these are back-to-back-to-back. So she's very active. We got that going for us if we're rooting for her. Before that, Andre Sorolaz, who was 1-1. She beat her at Titan FC KO 11 months ago within this year. Before that, Nicole Smith, KO knockout. Girl, we're on your side tonight, girl. We going with you. Let's give her a follow, matter of fact. What's her name? Hannah Cyphers. Guys, if you were part of the pure... Mike checking in. Are you going to try it one more time with a crush and do like another show that was pretty goddamn good? Cowboy 1. Take care of yourself. Ready after I get some work done. Before it gets dark, you rock, Eddie. Thanks, Mike. And just let me pull that up here for you guys to see. It's on in the chat room. Mike H. Give Mike H a follow on Twitter at Into the Storm. Him and Ann at Chillzone95. Give them both a follow. Let me get his actual. Because I appreciate the support. So at Into the Storm 71. Give Mike a follow. Big fan of Cowboy. Big fan of mixed martial arts. And Star Trek. And metal. I mean, the Pure Evil Empire. Come on. What you expect out my people? My people. Actually, really cool thing about Mike. After I got my hand tattoo, he sent me a text message. Said, you know what? After you got that, it inspired me to get a tattoo on my finger, which he sent to me, which is absolutely beautiful. Whoever he went to. Oscar, come here, bud. Oscar just got his hair cut. Come here, dude. Come here. Sit. Come say hi. Come say hi to everybody. Guys, Oscar got his hair cut. Check it out. And he's wearing his Harley Davidson t-shirt. I love you, bud. Say hello to everybody. Sit. Stay. Say hello to everybody. Are you guys on the stream? All right, good. Damn booze. Look at Oscar. He's got his hair cut. He's been kind of weird because he's not used to not having all the fur. All right, bud, go lay down. I'll let you go. You're such a good boy. You ready for fight night, bud? You know Dad's gonna be screaming at the TV. You gonna be looking at me like a crazy person? Okay. He's out of his mind. He's so funny. But all right, let's get back into this. Oh, we also got a baby rat this week. I keep saying we because me and Angie Jabs used to get baby rats together. But I got a baby rat this week, new mascot. We named her Shadow because main reason on the way home from the pet store we listened to Avenged Sevenfold. I think it startled her a little bit, like her first time in the real world. Just listened to A7X, so I named her Shadow. Let's jump back into the mix. All right, so I'm going with Hannah Cyphers, and let me find her on Instagram because if you were a fighter this day and age, especially in the UFC, and you still don't have your social media up and going, I can understand Twitter because obviously Facebook is the number one right now, which I don't really mess with Facebook too much. H-A-N. I'm so bad at spelling. I need to go back to college, which I'm actually trying to do for January. Here she is, Shockwave Cyphers. Only 660. I am her 666th follower here on Pure Evil MMA. How about that? Follower number 666, your boy Pure Evil MMA. That works out so perfect. Let's look through her. Here, let me pull it up on here. Let me save my... We got 13 minutes, so I gotta fly through this right now, huh? We don't have time to do that right now. So give her a follow at Hannah Shockwave Cyphers. It's at Shockwave Cyphers on Instagram. We're going for her. No one beats Mallory Martin and gets away with it. Macy Barber, you got another thing coming, girl. What just happened? Did we just lose all of our predictions? We just lost all of our predictions. We just lost all of our predictions. Your picks are entered. I didn't finish making my picks, dude. I did not. I have 13 minutes. This can't happen. All right, jump back into it. Did it save my picks is the real question. No, it didn't. It didn't even save my picks. What do we have? Korean Zombie. Most decisions, right? Can you guys hear me that well? Let me turn the mic a little bit this way because I'm at the side. Raquel Pennington, right at Jermaine Durandamy via decision. Benil Dariush, which I think was my first finish. Round 2. Fuck, I'm fucking this all up now. I was deep in the thought on every one of these fights. Here we are. I didn't get that far. Shit. All right, Hannah Cyphers. We're going with Hannah. This is probably going to be a finish, but you got to remember, both these girls, first time in the UFC. Every fighter I've talked to definitely admits that octagon jitters are real. Imagine walking out a big show, very important fight. If it's your debut and you lose, it's going to be really hard to build back momentum. You, on your debut, get a win and an entertaining win, you're on the right track here. But it's got to be, you got to get the jitters, right? Like you walk out, you smell beer, popcorn, and Vaseline, and it's got to be something else. It's got to be something else. I'm going with Cyphers via decision. I would love to see a finish. Clearly, both these girls are finishers. And then our boy Lewis, I've had both these guys on the show. Are you guys in frame? You guys aren't in frame. So we got Luis Pena, the Violent Bob Ross, which I've known Lewis for the past 2 years now. Before he was even on Ultimate Fighter, I was in talks with his manager, his old manager, who actually passed away. Somebody that I owe my entire career to in 2015 and 16. But Luis Pena versus Mike Trizano, man. Trizano coming off the win to Joe Giannetti in the split decision. Lewis beating another one of Conor McGregor's training partners, Richie Smollins, via submission guillotine choke, which he said he learned backstage from Joe Giannetti. I don't want to have to pick against either of these guys. I think this is going to go to decision. This is a fight that we could have seen on The Ultimate Fighter. We're going with Luis Pena. Why is this saying that we have 2 hours and 2 minutes? That makes no sense. This makes no sense. All right, we got to fly through this shit, huh? All right, Luis Pena, decision. Odds are, we got -180 slight favorite for the Violent Bob Ross. 84% of Tapology going with them as well. Amanda Bobby Cooper versus Ashley Yoder. Both these girls coming up this season, Ultimate Fighter. Damn. The losses between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 10 fights, these girls combined in the last 5. 7 of them combined are losses. Ashley Yoder, 3 L's in a row. 4 out of her last 5. And she was undefeated not too long ago with 5-4 record, and those 4 losses coming in her last 5 fights. She needs a win. Amanda Bobby Cooper is one hell of a force. I'm going with Amanda Bobby Cooper to win via decision here. Both these girls have decent wrestling. I've interviewed ABC a long time ago. The Spider Monkey, she has a similar story to mine. My heart goes out to her. I was definitely rooting for her on this season Ultimate Fighter. The odds for this one, slight favorite for Ashley Yoder, -150, and a +125 slight underdog for Amanda Bobby Cooper. We're going for Bobby Cooper, and 54% of people on Tapology agree. Chad Skelly versus Bobby Maffett. We've had Chad Skelly on the show before. Amazing wrestling. I think he can win this via submission without looking too deep into it. 79% of you guys agree out there with me. Davey Ramos versus our boy John Gunther, another fighter who's been on Pure Evo MMA before in the past, 7-0. Davey Ramos, his only loss in his last 5 fights, coming via decision against Sergio Moraes, who's a hell of a guy himself. Davey Ramos, who has beat Chris Gritzmacher. Where's Chris Gritzmacher been, man? He was huge on Tough 22 until he started complaining about being lonely and wanting to go home and how these people weren't training the way that he wanted to train and this and that. But I love, he reminded me of the Geico Caveman. And then Nick Hine via submission. Davey Ramos or John Gunther? Who wins this fight? John Gunther is the guy that lost in 13 seconds. My heart wants John Gunther to win this fight. Really bad. Really, really bad. And he's a huge underdog. Plus 525. Holy shit. Huge favorite going in for Davey Ramos. Now, if I had $5 to put on this fight to a bookie, I'd put 5 on John Gunther just for the hell of it. Those are crazy odds, man. You can win some crazy points. I'm going with John Gunther here. John Gunther via KO. What are you guys saying? 14% say Gunther. 26% of the people that pick Gunther think it's going to happen by KO. I would love to see that. Let's see Gunther's career. Decision, KO, submission. And he's one tough dude. It's going to take a lot to get him out of there. I'm going with Gunther. Gunther, can he win my decision? I don't know. You know what? Let's go for the fairy tale ending. Gunther TKO round 3. Imagine you can pull that off. That is I would not recommend following my prediction for that, but I would love to see that. I went with my heart there. All right, Julian Rosa back in UFC, huh? He left for a while. Went back on the Contender Series. I'm going to pick Julian Rosa against Devontae Smith. He's coming off the Contender Series as well. I'm going with our boy Julian Rosa. I think you can get the submission later on in the fight. Let's see what we got here. Eric Sullivan versus Joseph Morales. Let's get these picks in because we got 8 minutes before this shit shuts down. Slight favorite for Eric Shelton. Near even. Both these guys coming off a loss. Showtime Shelton. Man. 72% for Morales. I'm going to go with Morales too. Damn, man. This is rough. This is rough. The decision eater. Alright, we're going Morales via submission. Let's see if we can pull it off. In our first fight of the night, Mark Della Rosa, who actually dates one of the Ultimate Fighter, is married to one of the Ultimate Fighter finalists. Marissa Della Rosa, I think her name was. I forgot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Joby Sanchez versus Mark Della Rosa. Man, this is a tough one. I would probably go with Joby Sanchez, but 10-1 record. Mark Della Rosa. His only loss coming to Tim Elliott via submission and a Anaconda choke. Tough. Elias Garcia. Win. Submission. Okay. Joby Sanchez beats Roberto Sanchez. Or loses. Also coming off the Contender Series. 2 fights on the Contender Series. Jesus Urbinas, but decision. Man, this could be a good one. I'm going to go with Della Rosa. Submission, man. Della Rosa submission. And we got our picks in. Click save. Click and save. Bam. Got it. So we have entered my pick. So let's take a look back at it. And guys, quick reminder. I'm going to be going live directly after the main event, which is the Korean Zombie versus Yair Rodriguez. I will be keeping up to date with the Pure Evil MMA chat room, which is always a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody in there. Shout out to Misty. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Ann. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to, this list goes on and on. Shout out to Scott. Shout out. Let's just fucking go to the group and give everyone a fucking shout out. Because tonight, one of these people will be winning the Pure Evil MMA Pick'em, which you guys just saw me make all my predictions for. And their name and tag will be announced here on the show tonight, and it will be uploaded afterwards directly on the iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, all that. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to MMA Breakdown. Man, we haven't heard from you in a while, bro. Where has the MMA Breakdown been? Randy Marshall. Shout out to Randy. Mayhem Monkey. Shout out to Mike Reed. Shout out to Corey Gower, who I'm not even following. Didn't even know he was in the group. When did he get added? Shout out to Ida, who we haven't heard from in a while. James R. Shout out to James. Let's give James a shout out. At JR Casimir 518. Give him a follow. Our boy Randy. Iro Randy. Give Randy a follow. The dude Patrick, who was amazing. Pat, what's going on with you, bro? You were doing so good in 2015 and 16 and some of 2017 on UFC Pick'em, and then you just fell off. You won it you won a handful of times, bro. And I think in our first season of Pick'em, our first year of Pick'em in 2015, I think it was, you were one of the top. I think you won. You won the entire 2015. We'd like to get you back on the map. Iceman, who you guys heard me mention at the beginning of the stream. Man, it's been a while. Hopefully he realizes and hears this, that we are back doing Pick'em on Tapology, and he needs to get in there. It's always nice competing with one of the top in the world, which is Iceman Official. Shout out to Mike Into the Storm, who you guys saw in the chat room. Let me pull the chat room back up for anybody who wants to see it in there. Boom, 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 boom. Which was only Mike in the chat room. Which, man, I didn't tell anybody I was doing the stream. I kind of just jumped into it, which was my mistake. Shout out to Ann at Chillzone95. Shout out to Davey Canes at DandyDave69. Shout out to the UFC Oracle at MMA for the UK1. Shout out to our boy Minion, who, when you guys hear tonight's UFC Pick'em winners, it's Minion's segment. Minion made it specifically for the Pure Evil MMA Army. Now, there was drama that went down with Minion, and an old member from the Pure Evil MMA Army, as we call it at the time, now Pure Evil MMA Empire. There was an issue that he had with somebody in there that just got really controlling and felt like I was giving Minion too much attention, which was not the case at all. Like, it's just so weird how people get so jealous. Like, you're talking this one more. It's like, no, man, this guy's helping me with the actual podcast. He's not just on Twitter tweeting out photos and getting mad that I'm not liking or retweeting your photos that you're ripping off from other people. This guy's actually making his own content to help the show grow. And it was a huge hit on the podcast. And the entire relationship got spoiled because of some dumbass shit. Now look at where you are. I don't even know where Minion is. Where is Minion? It's just sad, man. There's no need for drama. We all love mixed martial arts. If you're in the Pure Evil MMA Army, you are here to talk MMA, share MMA news, have fun on fight nights, have your name heard on the podcast if you win. There is no need to feel like, oh, you're not giving me attention, or you're giving, it just, come on, bro. This is ridiculous. We are here to enjoy the sport. Is that, like, come on. We all got real issues going on in our lives. We come into MMA because we are escaping that, whether it's our issues at work, whether it's our family, whether we stepped in dog shit walking towards the computer, whatever it is. We use MMA as our outlet to relieve stress, not to look for it. So fuck off with that shit. And now we lost a very valuable member in Minion, who's also designed some of our logos and stuff. It's just, I hate that shit. I'm glad it's out of the picture, but a huge loss that Minion's gone. So shout out to Minion. Rest in peace, Minion. I don't even know if his account's still up, but what a loss. Shout out to Barry Mayoros, another huge supporter of Pure Evil MMA. Give him a follow at Barry Mayoros. Our girl Misty B. Follow her at LFEIZGUD. MMA Pick, who actually designs the logo for Pure Evil MMA up here in the corner. Let me pull you guys into there. The full screen. Nope, wrong full screen. This up here in this corner, I gotta remember everything's opposite. MMA Pick made this, and he actually made the new merch line for Gloves Off, which I still need to drop. Shout out to Wicked World, shout out to Matt at MMA_Metalhead79, who claims he's not going to be joining our Pick'em League until 2019 for some reason. I don't know. Jay LaFleur, Nick Portella, Scott Kenyon. Guys, give Scott a follow. This guy tweets daily. He's constantly talking with us in the Pure Evil MMA chat room. A huge asset to Pure Evil MMA. So if you are listening to the podcast, which we had almost 1,000 downloads this week alone, if you're listening and you want to get on Twitter and socialize and engage with us, especially on Fight Night. Fight Night's a lot of fun. A little difficult for people overseas like Scott. But Scott Kenyon, guys, give him a follow at K34 No16. K34 NO16. Shout out to new member Jamal H at MALZ World 872, and Jordan Michael, who has an upcoming fight next weekend, who is an amateur fighter. And actually his page is on Topology. Now we got somebody, Andrea Smith. Greetings from Germany. You know what? I think it's so crazy. I was looking at my analytics. Shout out to people in Sweden, Germany. Like, here, let me pull it up in here for you guys really quick. And guys, the fight's starting right now, but let me just show you. I think it's so cool to see where people are tuning in from. I can't go because we're doing the live stream, but here I can check my Podbean account. Go to statistics. And let's see. Like, it's so crazy. Like, how many... That's one thing I really love about this sport is it connects people around the world. It's not like the MLB or the NFL. It's literally connecting people worldwide. And the thing I like about that is, I'm not saying it's putting an end to racism, but it's helping people realize that if you live here or the other side of the world, there really is not much of a difference between you or me. No one's going to be able to take a... Just because I'm Italian doesn't mean I could take a better punch than somebody who's German. Like, you learn a lot about different cultures, which I really like. All right, so let's see. Germany. All right, so United Kingdom, huge followers. Sweden, Canada, Australia, Ireland, Thailand, Spain, Switzerland. Those are our biggest followers, which is, well, and obviously United States. But, man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. That means a lot. People from Germany tuning in, shout out to you. You are the real MVP here. You really are. So before I end today's live stream, last reminder, guys, follow me on social media, on Twitter at evil_echo. Also on Instagram, which I had to start a new Instagram page a couple of months ago, which I lost a few thousand followers, and it was crushing. So we're trying to rebuild that. Follow me at PureEvilMMA_. If you're into Facebook, go to the Pure Evil MMA Facebook page at Pure Evil MMA S, lowercase s, at Pure Evil MMA S. That does it for me here at Pure Evil MMA. It's time to tune into these fights. Nesquick YT, hello from Russia. When did the fights start? Well, the fights, shout out to you, man, out in Russia. The fights are actually starting right now. UFC Denver, 7 o'clock on UFC Fight Pass. Let me pull you guys back into the screen because it should say up here. Let's see. Let's go to the fight card itself. Locked 3 minutes ago. It started 3 minutes ago at 7 o'clock. The first fight, De La Rosa, which will go down. I just made all my picks, so if you missed it, you can rewind the live stream. Here, my pick by pick of who I got. De La Rosa, I'm going with first. Second, Morales, submission. Third, Arosa. Fourth, Johnny Gunther. This is the wild card right here. And I picked it because John Gunther has been on the show here at Pure Evil MMA. Matter of fact, let's go through the people who have been on Pure Evil MMA that are on this card. Johnny Gunther, amazing, amazing character. You can check out his interview. All the guys from that season Ultimate Fighter, perfect as far as characters go. Chaz Skelly, he's been on Pure Evil MMA before. I've interviewed Amanda Bobby Cooper, not here on this podcast, but I've reached out to Ashley Yoder before in the past. Luis Pena and Mike Trezano have both been on Pure Evil MMA. Hannah Cyphers. We are rooting for Hannah Cyphers tonight because her opponent has beat Mallory Martin. Guys, give Mallory Martin a follow. She will be in the UFC very soon. And I would like to see the rematch. If Macy does beat Hannah, I would like to see that rematch go down. Benil Darius, Diego nope. I've interviewed Jermaine Durandamy. I have not interviewed Raquel Pennington. I don't think so. Mike Perry, Donald Cerrone. Haven't interviewed either of them. Yair, Korean Zombie. Haven't interviewed any of them. So let's see. Gunther, Chaz, ABC, Trezano, Pena. That's 5. Jermaine Durandamy, 6. 6 people out of the, 18 people on the card. I've interviewed a third of the people here. So guys, if you are new here and you're tuning in Germany or you're tuning in Russia, make sure to give us a follow here on YouTube and also on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. We're pulling in 1,000 downloads a week. It means a lot, guys. It means the world to wake up, look at the stats, and realize how many people out there are listening. Now, if you are overseas, you might be familiar with me from the new podcast I'm doing with James McSweeney, who Ultimate Fighter vet, Season 10, first pick for Team Rashad. One of the best seasons of Ultimate Fighter, Season 10. Rampage Jackson versus freaking Rashad Evans. Now, Rashad Evans brought over Big Brown, Brennan Schaub, and my co-host, James McSweeney, to the Ultimate Fighter. Those are the 2 fighters that he brought over. So, hopefully soon you will be hearing James McSweeney on Big Brown Breakdown. I would love that. I would love for that to happen. That would help us grow a lot. But in the meantime, we actually might be having Alistair Overeem on the show because they train together, first one-off, and his brother Valentin is very close with James McSweeney as well. So we are trying to get Alistair Overeem on the next show to talk about his upcoming fight, which would be awesome. So, guys, subscribe down below here on YouTube, youtube.com/PureEvilMMA. Tune in directly after the main event tonight. I will be going live. When I say directly after the main event, as soon as they announce the decision, I will be pressing start stream and we will be going. So tune in right here on Pure Evil MMA. We're going to be recapping, reliving the best and worst moments every time these events go on. And I have a blast talking to you guys on Twitter. We all highlight some of the moments. Every card has something that makes it just unique. And we're going to highlight what that was. We don't know what it is yet, but we're about to witness it, and I cannot wait. It's free. It's a 25-year anniversary for the UFC, and it's free. People out there complaining, oh, it's a 25-year anniversary. Why is it on pay-per-view? Do you really want to spend $70 on a pay-per-view? Because I don't. And this is a great card. Yair Rodriguez for Korean Zombie. Mike Perry versus Cowboy Cerrone. Jermaine Durandamy making a return against Rocky. Luis, the Violent Bob Ross. This card is amazing. I am not complaining. Last but not least, guys, I hope you guys are going to have a great fight night. Engage with us on Twitter Engage with us on Instagram. Give me a follow. Tell me that you just tuned in. I will follow you back right now. We are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the month, or at least hopefully by the end of the year. I'm Yair from Pure Evil MMA, guys. White knuckles to the end. Behave yourselves.
I feel that bitch in the back with the Burberry on. I feel that bitch in the back with the Burberry on. And to this day, that little bitch know all my songs. My chopper like kid and play, put a bullet hole in your afro. Walk in the bank, I'm laughing, no. These niggas square like Madison, no. I ball out like Madison, no. Full quarter shorty, shoot up your party. I'm a different man when I'm off for the morning. Used to take 5 Xans to the face in the morning. Now I take perks, my stomach turning. Stop taking perks, my stomach burning. May take a half when I hit it from the back. I'ma beat the shit up like Ike turn. Check that bitch like she got Nike on her.